The marketing mix consists of the 4 P's of marketing. Once you've established your product line, you must price your products. When it comes to pricing your products, you really must think about how you're going to compete with your competition. Are you going to primarily try to compete when it comes to price or quality? If you're really going to be trying to compete when it comes to lower prices, you're going to offer some type of discount or discounted product line, versus if you're really trying to compete when it comes to higher quality, you're going to offer some type of premium quality product or product line. Now, it's all going to come down to actually your customers' wants and demands, and essentially once you've established those products and your pricing structure, if you're going to compete when it comes to discount or premium products, you can actually start to look at how you're going to price the product. When it comes to pricing products, it's either going to be in a fixed or variable pricing structure. Now, it's all going to come down to the good or service that you're selling. Realize that most services typically have some type of variable pricing structure in which the wants and demands of the consumer really influence the total price. For example, if you go to a car wash, you have many different options as how extensively you want your car washed. This is a pricing structure in which you can essentially choose a la carte how much you want to pay, and essentially dictates the final price. Versus a fixed pricing structure is typically when you go to some type of retail store or website and they're selling a lot of goods, and essentially that price is set in stone and that's what it's going to cost. So again, it's going to come down to the products that you're offering, but realize that a certain good or service can actually use a combination of both fixed and variable pricing structures. Again, it's going to really just come down to what products, goods, or services you're offering. Now, when you're putting together your pricing structure, you must keep in mind your total cost. Now, there are 3 main influencers of your cost: the economy, your competition, and your supply chain. When it comes to the economy, you realize that essentially when the economy is doing well, consumers have more discretionary and disposable income to essentially spend on your products. If the economy is not doing well, typically the demand is less, and a lot of times your economies of scale or your cost to manufacture or produce that good or service typically rise. When you offer a higher amount of products, as the supply increases, the cost to produce each unit decreases. Thus, your cost is lower and your price can also drop a little bit. The next influencer of your price when it comes down to cost is your supply chain. Your supply chain, especially if you're offering some type of good, will come down to the raw materials that go into creating that finished good. For example, if you're a restaurant, you're going to typically offer a wide range of food that is either fruits, vegetables, or some type of meat. Now, if there's a drought, that can drastically influence the cost of fruits and vegetables and essentially change your overall price. As your cost of goods increases, your price is typically going to have to increase with it. So again, it's really going to all come down to what your suppliers are experiencing themselves, often dictate your actual supply costs. Lastly, your competition. If your competition is very strong and you often have to spend more when it comes to marketing, you often have more marketing costs. So again, your competition will really dictate what you have to do to, again, gain more market share to be competitive. Now, once you've actually established what all your costs are that go into the actual product, you really need to look at a few different ways you can price it. When you're pricing your products, you can either typically look at, hey, these are the total costs that go into the product, and I want to make this much margin or markup. Essentially, I want to make 20%, or I want to make $20 when I sell this product. Or you can look at your competition and essentially, what are they selling a very similar good or service for, and can I sell it for essentially that same price? And if I do, and these are my total cost, what essentially is my markup or margin from there? Again, it's going to really come down to what you're comfortable with and the actual good or service that you're selling. Just realize that you should always be looking at your competition in some way to make sure that you're going to stay competitive. When it comes to pricing, lastly, you must think about unethical pricing methods and must avoid them. You never want to trick your consumer into coming to your place of business, your website, and really tricking them into having to purchase a more expensive product. Unethical pricing methods like predatory, gouging, and bait and switch are all deceptive pricing methods in which you're tricking the consumer to come to your business and purchase something that they really didn't intend on purchasing originally. If you have any questions on how to price your products, please do not hesitate contacting us. Thank you.